Hello and welcome. My name is Trismegistus, and today we're going to be playing some more Factorio. It's the Parameterisation series, where I'm attempting to learn parameterisation. Well, that's what I'm telling myself, but in reality, I seem to be mostly building a mega base. Yes, so I have been extremely busy with the game. I have done a lot. I think my camera's clean, and I'm pretty sure I punched my camera. Still seems a bit far to the... There we go. I think that's a bit better. There we go. Cool. Yes, I've been doing a lot. So let's just hop out of the Spidertron. The goal for today is to get 2,400 space science ready to go / built. It won't actually do that because we're going to need to put in a lot of intermediate production and lower level raw material gathering before it would actually be able to do that. But the plan is to do the builds. Now, in terms of those builds, what we did last time, and this was the first thing I was busy with, I finished this off basically. So we have a build over here which makes all the solar panels and accumulators, and then the bit I did after the stream was I added in the last parts of the actual power production. We will almost certainly need more power, so a lot of these are set on quite high numbers because this build, if I'm going to stick in a third nuclear thing, then we're going to need quite a lot of turbines and stuff like that. We have nuclear for days because of course we're not using uranium ammo really, because we've got no real threat from the biters unless we go and attack them. These little green ticks are where I've been going. I've been refactoring everything so that's a bad example. It's on that's red belt because it's only a relatively small patch. But if you look here, I've been splitting them up so that we get more coming out of the ore patches, for example. These are kind of set up for eventual when we've got lots and lots of mining prod done. They'll be able to fill blue belts with relatively few miners. Could probably put speed modules in them to help out for now, but that would ramp up the power, which I say for the time being I'm not interested in faffing about with. And I've been going around, as I say, refactoring everything. So we now have full-on steel builds doing, well, it's not 2 blue belts, it's like a belt and a half of red or something like that. I say refactoring all that. Oh, I should actually get rid of those miners, refactoring a lot of the things and just putting in ticks, so this is now much more productive. Batteries, we don't need more than that particularly, just get all right with the one build. Also delved into the calculator that I tend to use, Factorio, what's it called? I can't remember. I'm not a massive fan of the Kirk McDonald one. I know a lot of people use that, but I prefer there's like a more visual one that I use. Factorio Lab, I think it's called. But yeah, so we have refactored production. I've even increased belt speed here. That one's only red though. And then the big one is I went and designed a new green circuit build. This does a complete blue belt of green circuits. It's ever so slightly more, so it should always saturate the blue belt. And as you can see, it stacks up quite nicely together, and we get overlap there. I just realised that actually there is a rogue. I wonder why. I don't think it matters because this it doesn't need to produce at max, as I say, to fill the belt. So yeah, effectively there's 8 blue belts of green circuits, and then all of the iron coming in to support it, and then that's repeated there, and there's a third one up there because we're going to need insane amounts of green circuits, as you always do when you get into mega base territory. I then did the same. Well, I actually did blue next, so I've redone blue circuits. I did increase these, but these are more just upgrading rather than redesigning. So this is the same, red circuit build, just bumped up a bit. And so that's the old blue circuit design. So there is also the new blue circuit design, which is this one here, as it shows, a bit more compact. with more sort of beacons on each machine, and as you can see, the drop-offs to get this to actually run are insane because, you know, a processing unit, a blue circuit uses, is it 20 green circuits? It's something insane like that. So yes, so nuts amount of stuff being delivered. There should be, I think there's 2 more of those. There's certainly one there. Was there another blue circuit one? Maybe I just counted that one as being blue circuits upgraded. But then I also did red circuits as well. So we have a red circuit design. It's not massively different to the other one, but it makes the assumption that we'll only have the one, you know, one thing, because this does produce a red belt of red circuits rather than a blue belt. So, you know, I'm not parallelizing it and that sort of thing, but that means it can fit into a single set of trains. So this is, you know, the four-stop design, and therefore I can put this down more frequently because we also got, and what I've actually spent a lot of time on, is we were getting like really bad traffic jams along here. The way I usually design my junctions is like mutually exclusive. So essentially there's one train allowed in the junction at a time. That has the massive problem of terrible throughput, as you can imagine. But it has the advantage that you're not going to get trains just sitting in the junction blocking everything. Because I've done this, and I did this deliberately to try and force me to do it, I've therefore produced and optimized, in terms of throughput for this system, second T-junction. I'm not going to do the crossroads. Can I put this somewhere useful? Here we go. In fact, we actually need one coming off somewhere. It's not so vital. When we're out here in the boonies, we don't necessarily have to use this, because I'm not confident of what it does. But it has loads and loads of signals on it, and they're positioned. I did lots and lots of testing, and they are positioned such that you see we're getting things like this going on basically. So what this is doing is that a 111 train, because that's what the system is designed for, a 111 train will be able to pull up. Now it won't do it here because, you know, it actually pulls up sort of, well, here basically. But you see it's blocked there. But this segment, yeah, is not blocked. So a train can pass through here, even though a train is waiting in the junction. And I've positioned a lot of these very carefully, such that they can then do that. So even a train, you see, there's actually regular signals there. So a train could actually pull all the way to here, because this is obviously you know, an upgrade from a regular thing, and sit there, and it doesn't block a cross path. Yeah, if it was even slightly further that way, like one extra, oops, thing that way, there. Right, let me build it because it's not, I haven't got any. Then it counts as being in that block. I've not got that quite right then, have I? Is it there? There you go. Oh no, it's still not blocked it. But there's also something weird going on with signals, because will it do it here? No, I think these ones are all right. For some of them, if you only have one, it becomes like indeterminate, basically, is the only way I can describe it. So I think if we didn't have those in, are you going to do it? No, you're not going to do it. There are certain positions here where it seems to become like, I think maybe it's because that one's there, but it's like it doesn't understand, in a sense, that it's like the block ends in the actual junction, in the actual crossing of two rails, even though it doesn't show that. That's not what the graphics show, and therefore it can't determine where the end of the block is. And so they were doing the flash-in thing, even though they were perfectly fine as a normal signal. So I don't know if it's a bug or just a reflection of how they're having to do the graphics more than anything. So yeah, so that was the other thing I spent ages doing, and I've done loads of testing with it. It should work, and it is along here. I've used it on every single one of these, and it seems to be doing really well. But I say I'm going to I'll probably end up having to do it here, you see, because we've got so many junctions. And maybe at some of these key ones, but let's say when it's out here, you know, that one, that's probably fine because it's, you know, it's not picking up anything, you know, major, as it were. The other thing I should be doing, I should have done really, is converted the iron ore pickups to actual like smelting. So like here, I should be picking up just that. I shouldn't really be moving ore around, you know, where I don't need to. So for copper, I shouldn't move any copper ore around. But that's the way I originally built it. So we've still got a lot of that. But yes, very very busy through the week on it. I haven't been having a great deal of fun. But today's challenge is to try and get, as I say, the 2400 space science. What we will do is we'll take that out because I built all of them now. Right? So we'll get rid of them. I think we'll need an extra. Oops, no, Roboport. So I can do that. And then it's all of these as well. So what we're actually going to build first is a thing that makes these, because these are the high-tech bits and pieces. You know, I don't have that many beacons being produced, but it's also going to make the silos, and then we'll do the thing to actually make the rockets for the silos. I need to decide where I'm going to put the labs as well, because now that we've got the drop-off thing, whatever it's called, the landing pad, I can put the rockets anywhere. And where I'm thinking of putting the rockets is down here, because it's sort of, I don't know, it'd be kind of cute. Because what I thought was maybe the space science involves, you know, like observing the biters in some way. It's launching satellites in order to watch the biters or something like that. And this should be a little island, and that'd be kind of fun. The bit we need to, I never took that out, did I? That's still sat there. I wonder if I can do some roboports across, and then we can take it out a bit later. Yes, put one there as well then. Okay. Yes. So what I'm thinking with the this whole bit is to go a little bit off piste from my basic design. Meaning, should I do the T-junction 2? Let's just stick it in. Meaning we won't really stick to the, you know, this grid network. I'm probably going to do it there, and I'll probably put a stacker in, actually, thinking about it. Because this is mostly going to be like dropping off just loads of materials, and I'm kind of hoping I can maybe just do something more improvised. Because all it's going to make, you know, we're not sending the rockets from here, so we're not going to be dropping off, you know, tons and tons of rocket fuel and all this sort of stuff. It's just when we run out of things. Oops. Oh, that was the. I don't even know which parameter it is. What one is it? It's number 1. So, because we've got one pickup according to this. What am I even picking up? This is the satellites. Okay. So we'll be picking up the satellites, but you know, an entire rocket of satellites is what? I mean, if each one's 1,000, and it holds 40, then that's 40,000 space science in one train. So it's hardly going to be high volume. You know, that's, if we divide that by 40,000, so yeah, it's like 30 odd, or 30 rocket launches. So, you know, it's going to be very low sort of volume. Cool. But yes, we need to drop off a lot of stuff, you see. 14 things. So what I think I want to do, as I say, is kind of go off piece. So we will have a stacker in. Oops. Just can't really, you know, say, you know, this was kind of my plan to start with, but I'm going to use the stations and stuff like that, and maybe I'll align it so that I could, if I wanted to, replace it. So if we were doing stations, like, where did it go? There it is. You know, so if I was putting them in there, we could get that to work, but you see it only goes 4, 8, and then we run out of room. So yeah, I think if I put a little thing is that, so that's where the actual, yeah, so that would be the bottom connection point if I ended up wanting to replace this. So how about we go something like that, and then maybe copy that to sort of there, maybe? Yeah, that's all right. Yeah, I'll do. It's actually left-hand drive now, isn't it? So maybe if I, what would it be? Not HV, and then yeah, like that. There. And then if we flip this round, where would that be? Oh, it's fine. I'm not gonna. I've already decided against that. I did do a little bit on Satisfactory as well. A very, very little bit. Basically moving some material over to the new base, the desert base. But I also investigated maybe doing the Sky Factory. I think I'm more and more keen on that as a kind of concept, really. Because I want to start using trains, but I found the whole train building thing quite horrendous. Right, so if we were doing straight rails, where have they gone? There you go. Then it would be a bit further down, wouldn't it? I'm just wondering, I could maybe, you know, as it were, cheat it and use the straight rails like that. That might be sensible. And then we can maybe connect this and do like wiggly track rather than a straight bit. So where would we want to connect that? So maybe if we go there. Interesting. And what would that look like there? Is that a bit too? It's a bit too close, isn't it? Let's go. No. I talked a lot in my Friday Facts videos about wanting to do something that was reminiscent of a set of rail things in the UK called at a place called Clapham Junction. I'm not going to do that here, but I still want to do that. Well, maybe, yeah. I'm not 100% on some of these curves still. They sort of look odd. Hey, Snicks, how you doing? Again, thank you for your help with trains tracks. I'm looking really good now. Good, good. How are you finding the game? It's not too sort of overwhelming. I know a lot of people... Well, certainly, I say a lot of people. You see, I see a lot of posts on Reddit where people are like asking, you know, should I rebuild my base type of thing? And it's like, I don't know. It's always one of those questions of, it's up to you, you know. But yeah, I think sometimes people get a bit overwhelmed. And I know when I think I said this to you before that there's a real temptation to keep restarting, and it is worth doing that the first couple of times, you know, if you are struggling, or but it's a bit of a myth. It's a bit of a sort of, I don't know, psychological trap of I'll build it better next time. You know, I know more now, and I'll build it better next time. And it's like you kind of eventually learn that you're always building it better next time, even when you got thousands of hours like me. You're still building it better next time. Cool. Okay. So this is our jank together thingy. I guess the question then is how my signal... Well, actually, I wonder if... Let's get rid of that. What are you doing? Oh, I don't know. So I think in just a case of dropping off, using like a simple, you know, yuppie thing. I could do a roundabout at the end, you see. That's what I could do. Because it shouldn't take any kind of like room, basically, because we are literally... I mean, these machines are pretty much it. We'll need to build... No, we don't need to build anything. I thought we'd need to build something there. But, you know, radars, solar panels, accumulators, rocket fuel, low-density structures, blue circuits. They're all being made elsewhere. So we just need to drop them off with train. Our belt. We'll need to build belt and gears. You know, wires. Again, concrete, pipe. No, not pipe. Pipes being... I don't think pipes are being put on a train, which is fine. We can build pipes. But, you know, it's a collection of, like, what? 12 machines or something? 14 machines? So it's no enormous volume. And I'm not going to beacon any of them. Might beacon... No. What's the speed on that? 0.25 a second. So we would need to probably speed that because... How many are we going to want? If we try and do 3 a second, that's the one that'll need like beefing up, basically. But yeah, everything else is pretty simple. So I could do a very, very simple. Let's leave that there. No, if we move it up here, so because one option. If we assume I put signals here, one option is to just go boop, and then literally straight back down out there, and then trains would go back, you know, and we'd need a roundabout at the end, and then they come back again. Problem with that is they're going to block this entire section. So the other option, because the advantage with that is we can just stick in as many trains as we can fit in. You know, we're not restricted by space in a sense. The other option is to send them back out again. In that case, we are kind of limited by the space. The game's really good and grindy. But sometimes it's a bit too overwhelming. I restarted my base once because it wasn't as productive as it is now. Yeah, there's no, you know, the kind of there's like a point where you just need to double down basically and just like push through. I'm finding it very loud for me, and I don't know if that's... Yeah, I think that's my audio. Hang on. That's a bit better. Oh, hello, Solden. Welcome. Hello, Trissy Triss. How's it going? Yeah, not too bad, mate. How are you doing? But yeah, so it's sort of a thing of, I say, people tend to give that advice in a very well-meaning way of, you know, don't restart and all that sort of stuff. But actually, restarting can be quite useful very early on. But you do kind of need... You'll reach a point where you're like... You feel like you're continuously restarting, and it's that point you should, I say, knuckle down and just finish the game, basically. So if that was our... I guess we'd want the satellites on the end, wouldn't we? So they've sort of got priority. Oops. That's the wrong button. So if we put them... Now, Where does that live now? I guess it's, yeah, it's still there, isn't it? Okay. So we were putting the satellites on a train there. But then I say the idea maybe. I mean, I guess. Let's have a think. So I'd want trains to basically prioritise being like coming out, I think. Here you go. Here's one. It can't work out which block it's trying to create. Do that, it'll probably work it through. But it was doing that for like no. It was just, you know, I was putting a signal here and it was doing it, and it's like, what's the problem? So yeah. So I guess if I put one that, I mean, that would need to be a. Whoops. Okay, that would need to be a chain, wouldn't it? Doesn't matter. Effectively, I've got a gigantic, you know, they'd all just be queued up here in whatever order at the moment. If I put them all as, well, not all, but if we have a chain signal blocking them, then they'd wait here. But then there'd be a big, but that's fine. We're okay with that, aren't we? For this one. I do think I want to take out these. I don't think I want to be restricted by what's going on there. But yeah, if we then have this be a regular signal, and then we want chain, actually chain close to the junction. So you cross over. So issue here is going to be what? We probably want that further down. You get that as well. You see how that's so very, very close to the track? And it's all to do with the graphics, basically, trying to make it all fit in. But it looks really janky. Oh well, it is what it is. But yeah, that's plenty of room for a 111 train. So we want to go along, making sure that these signals we can fit a 111 train in, so they can all just queue up, waiting to leave. There we go. And then I was working on a, you know, almost, it's almost going to be jokey, but like things I wish I knew when I started playing the game video. But I was going to go absolutely nuts with it and have like hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of things. And one of the problems was I kept thinking of things. So I'm writing away all these tips and stuff. And like that, for example, look, you can hold a signal, and it, you know, it shows you on the track how many the things. But you can also adjust that in the game settings. So you can tell it how many trains, or, you know, like carriages or whatever you want it to do. And I mean, this isn't a perfect example of amazing quality of life things that the devs do. The last one there is yellow. I don't know if you can see that on the screen, but the last one is yellow because that's telling you that's the end of the train. And it's just like a little visual thing just to let you know, so you don't get, you know, lost, as it were. But also, I think that's how long I've set it to. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 carriages. I think by default it's 4. And so that's it telling me that's where my last carriage would be that I've specified, basically. Amazing stuff they put in. Okay, so I could also move this one. This will probably be too short. There we go. So that would allow a whole load of trains to queue up. If for some reason this all got blocked up and we needed, you know, things to chug through, that would then allow a whole bunch of them to queue up. But this bit is single train. So only one train can go up here, and it gets to this is like its decision point, effectively. So every drop off. I think actually I'm going to move that because I can move all of this further up, can't I? But basically, that is our. If there's room there, then go for it. Is that what we want? I think it is, but we also want one here. And then also one there. Oh, it sort of doesn't matter because would they? I say it sort of doesn't matter because the trains are going to be coming up here one at a time. It's only when they leave, and in that circumstance, I wouldn't want that crossing over. Yeah, we don't want it crossing over and getting stuck. And the only reason it would get stuck is if there's already a train there. Yeah, all of these are going to be single drop-offs. Did I do? Oh no, that's a pickup, isn't it? Okay, so if we take that as our new weird way of doing trains, and then if I grab, say, how far apart do I want them? I guess I want them to be able to put, to like drop off, don't I? So where? So that has to be that close, I think. Because we're going to want, was it 14? I can't even remember what they are. Let's just put them as satellites and I'll redo them. How many was it? 14. Okay. We should have room, I think. But yeah, if we do there, again, we'll just put that on. So that's 2. And then that would be, so that's 3, 5, 7, 2, 4, 7. So this is then 12. Yeah, so we're out into the ocean. Okay. Now how about we do something over the top? Can I fit it all in there? So if we were to go... Because we can move this down as well. Tried to expand the factory earlier. My main bus was one tile off. Always the way. Always the way. Let's see about where the actual, what space we would need in terms of build. So I'm tempted to have this be a separate. It's going to be tricky because let's finish that sentence. I was tempted to make it its own separate Roboport network and have it all built here because the idea of this is it's like the high-tech factory. So we've got, you know, combinators being made and all that sort of stuff. So having bots do it all would kind of thematically make sense. Problem with that is I'd then have to take the stuff elsewhere. Because otherwise it's not available to the rest of the robot network. So I can't really do that, I don't think. Okay, let's have a look at this. Let's bring some power up. So yeah, if we were to go here, so if this was to be our boop boop. Wait, I've not done on that wide, have I? Oh no, I have yet. So if that was our lane there, then we would need, say, that bit there. This is just for size, basically. So if I was trying to keep it on land and not move this further down, which I think I'd actually probably prefer, we'd have this bit in the middle to build, and that's going to be too small because we've got far more to drop off. I wonder in that case, if we're going to have to go different altogether, do I just build this as some weird roundabout? So it's basically like one bit of track going around the edge, essentially. Try to fix the bus. First my blue science died to a missing pipe to heavy oil cracking. Then my green science died due to a missing iron. Then my red science broke due to missing iron. My military broke due to missing iron. Then my bus science died again. The blue science rather died again, this time due to missing gears, pipes. Meanwhile, I was outposting. All the while, the factory got attacked by enemies spawned in a totally different direction than my outposting. So yeah, normal Factorio Saturday, I guess. Yeah. The usual sorts of problems. And oh yeah, I don't think the bus is fixed yet. The bus is never fixed. It always needs more. I think that's one of the other things you kind of learn, that basically the answer is just always more. It's just like, this not happening, you need more. This not happening, you need more. Just always sort of boils down to that, really. Yeah, I quite like the idea of having some mad roundabout. Yeah, let's go with that. Let's see what that might look like. Let's get crazy. So it'd probably be further down, wouldn't it? In fact, let's get rid of all of that side of life. And then what was it? So it's a left-hand drive system. So we're probably better off like going up this way. Oh, power pole. Like that. And then don't want to use too much landfill if I can. That can avoid it. So we go say, yeah, a bit's okay, but let's. No, so it's probably a bit too far up, isn't it? So maybe there, because that's not in a bad position. Oh, let's bring the builder bots over. Hopefully they'll have some landfill. Landfill's literally somewhere here, I think. Is that it? Where is it? There it is. So it's not too far away. Buildertrons to the rescue. I'm going to need to do some negotiations with the locals because we need space. One of the things I didn't mention at the beginning, but I have to, as I've been doing the maths, and I need like 4 more plastic builds. I'm therefore going to need that oil and the other one that I marked at the very least, which means more oil builds. I'll obviously build them local anyway, but yeah, the plastic build is not at all big for that one, but I need 4 more of them. So I could maybe get 2 in here, maybe stick 1 in there if I'm very generous with, you know, lines and stuff. Maybe bring it across that way, as I mean. But the real killer is that I need 205 low density structure manufacturing machines. This build here has only got 20. So I would need 10 times this. Now obviously I did build this to expand, so I can boost it up anyway and see how much more productive it is. But I'm going to need, you know, say 8 or 10 or more of them. And I don't think there's anywhere I can put them in. I could build something where I go like in the middle here and just have a gigantic one, maybe something like that. But even that's not going to do 205 machines. So yeah, we're going to need more space for stuff like that. And that's not, I haven't even done the maths on the rocket fuel. That's going to be like another similar sort of scale. So yeah, unfortunately, the biters are going to have to move. As their landlord, I'm going to have to do an eviction. Right. Now if I don't want to take, so maybe if we go sort of somewhere up here. Whoops, that's probably a bit more than that, wouldn't I? Move that up. Bit more. Yeah, that'll do. Now, I guess maybe if we try and go sort of across there, maybe. Don't know how that aligns with any of my existing raily things. That's not bad, is it? I mean, that's sort of on the edge of one. What about on the other side? I don't know why do I care? I don't care. If we go there, I don't know where that would need to go, but it's got to be something like that, isn't it? There maybe? Oh! There maybe? Oh. Buildertrons, can you please do your thing? I think it should be even wider. Yeah. I say, answer is always more. Answer is always more. Okay. So yeah, let's imagine this is a full circle. And we connect it up somehow later on. So I want that there. Roundabouts. Roundabouts. Okay. So do I have that? I don't really want that, do I? If it's a roundabout, am I sending them all around one way, as it were? In which case, which way is it? Where is it better for it to have the satellites? Because what they'd be coming in. I guess I could send them either way, couldn't I? But if they're coming in like this, whoop, and then going out like that, whoop. So that's my pickup for satellites. Let's just make sure a train fits and no, it does do something mad, so that's too close. So this needs to be like, in fact, let's put the signalling in first. So if we have, say, that one there. In fact, maybe I could build this such that a train. So if we were to say chain signal there, and then one there, and then there, and there. So then it can go that way. I don't want that. I want that to be the regular signal, don't I? Yeah, and then we want enough room here. Oh no, we don't want any room there actually. That's silly. Because I don't want a train sitting here blocking the exit. I'd have to do something weird and complicated. But yeah, if we put this sort of there, then that should give me an idea. So if it's... That's 1, 2, 3. Yeah. So that's the satellites one. So if you're click to that. Boop. Boop. Nice. So then it couldn't come in. We're going to have to chain things back, aren't we? That's fine with there. Yeah. So I want this set of rails. Now is that... properly connected? Yeah. Yes, I believe it is. Okay. But the rest of them are going to be whatever. So if we just copy paste that, how many can we get in is the question. I think it's even less, isn't it? Because I'm putting them further apart. Because that's only... we need 14. If you there, 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 there. We've only got 2, 4, 6, 7, 8. Now, as it happens, they will fit. So we've got 8, because we need 15 stations, so I need to fit 7 more in. So if we had 1, 2, 3, it's not going to fit, is it? Oh no, and that even doesn't even fit there. How very annoying. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10, 11. So this, I mean, I could put one sort of there. Oops, but up there. And I could move it down then. There. There. That's 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 13. And we need to drop off 4, 8, 12. Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. That looks like 15 to me. 4, 8, 12. Oh no, 4, yeah. Well, I need to drop off 14 things and pick up one thing. So that's not going to work, is it? Unless we do some kind of smart... Oh, we've got copper there twice. Oh, so we don't need that station. But that's still 4, 5... Well, 4, 8, 12, 13. Blue circuits, steel, copper, iron plate, rocket fuel. Well, it's only satellites, isn't it, that we really need, like, volume drop-off for. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then the actual thing itself, 7. The other thing I can do, you see, is I can overlap these. If we do the signals differently, they don't all need to to do that. I wonder also, we could do something very weird in that I could have them so I could possibly arrange it so that there's some there. No, it's not going all down that way. Well, I quite like that. Because there's a bunch of stuff that we don't really need to drop off in particularly big numbers. That was as far down as it would go, wouldn't it? And that's basically as far down as it would go. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4. Wonder if I could get these nice and even. So, because that then gives me 2, 4, 5 in one block. And if I, because it is a gigantic roundabout, you see. So we're sort of single. Oh, that's not even. See, that's not in the same place. Oh, I don't like that. That's my copy and paste error. Okay, that might explain why the gaps aren't the same. But yeah, it would need flipping round, which I can't do. Can't flip with signals. You can't flip with signals, lad. Because we could then get. So if I did put in, say, some here. To some configuration. It's going to look cool on the map. That then is, say, there. Then we've got 2, 4, 5. 2, 4, 5. We've got sort of 10. So we will still need to drop off 4 things. What does this need? This needs 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. If we then, because we're going to need room somewhere to build stuff. I don't have the, the ancillary things, building them in there makes a lot of sense. But for this one, we're going to need more room because we're going to need beacons and stuff. So if that was like there, what are we looking at then? I'd move that one up. But then it's not symmetrical, isn't it? What we got then? We've got 1, 2. I think we could possibly. What would they look like here? They're sort of overlapping that way, aren't they? We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And I think I worked out I had 1 too many, so I need, including this, I need 4 here. So it does work, kinda. Yeah, quite like that. So get rid of these top ones. Ooh. So I wonder if we can get this sort of nicely symmetrical in some way. So if that's like my best, how deep do you need to be? So that is perfect distance. That's like the tightest curve we can do. that right? Yeah. And then let's get rid of that malarkey there. So again, tightest curve we can do. In fact, is that? I was watching Summer Games Fest last night and this morning. I don't know. I struggled with it. I didn't really. I don't know. There just wasn't that much. Well, was anything I was interested in? Maybe 2 games. But it's weird. This year's had loads of games that I've been like Game of the Year contenders already. So it's going to be. We're not going to be able to. Well, we don't want a middle one there, do we? We'd quite like a middle one here. But it's sort of not going to be middle no matter what we do. Yeah, I've made a mess. I've made a mess again. But yeah, lots of really, really good games have already come out. And so it's like, I don't know, it just... Some of the Games Fest just felt, yeah. It's just like everything else, you know, just sort of, don't really care. Kind of feels like people aren't waiting for big announcements, you know. I think Steam Next Fest might be a big part of it, because you get a lot of games coming out there. There's like tons of room there, isn't it? We could put all sorts. In fact, we could put machines in and everything. We could put machines in and everything. Now, if we wanted to put the like middle ones, I say they're not going to be even. But they're not going to be even anyway, because that's not. Why does that curve not match that curve? I guess because if I put space there, so if it wasn't that, then these could be perfectly in the middle. I'm doing aesthetics. I'm doing aesthetics again. You need to stop when I do aesthetics. Yeah, so if we do it more like that. Just fancied having fun, to be honest with you. So I've been grinding out all those green circuit factories and all sorts all week. So yeah, this needs moving one tile that, or well, I guess it's technically 2 tiles, but 1 tile that way, 1 train tile that way. Oops. Well, actually, it still needs to go, doesn't it? So if we move all of this 1 train tile over, and that means that we have perfectly central thing there. And then if we go move, don't really need to bother doing all that time, because we can just go straight down. Do a boop. Go for you. I bet the bots are like, what is he doing? What's he doing? He put down perfectly good rail there. He's just messing it about. Where's it? Where's the... There it is. All this messing about. Alright, and then that one on there. Why does that not look symmetrical? No, it is. See this one? No. So that gets me 1, 2, 3, 4. And then we want that one. Where? So it needs to be... So if that's the end there... Wait. Why is that... Oh, because I need to put a gap in here. Because that's 1... Oops. 2, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So this should be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So put this down a 1 time. Hoping there might be more interesting things at the some of the other things. The other problem with it's like it's just gone beyond saturation point. We've just got more than you can shake a stick at now. There's your Xbox showcase and your future game show and Autumn Direct and just madness. Guess it must work though. This is why they're all doing it. Okay. So signaling this might be a bit of a pain. Hopefully it'll look awesome on the map. Oh, that's pretty cool. It's like one of them water flow things. That looks different to that though. As in that looks like it's further down. I don't think it is though. So if I get the rail as well. No, it's symmetrical. Just looks a little disordered for some reason. Cool. Okay. That then gets me 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 drop-offs. So we then want 4 on this side, don't we? Because this turned out to be 3 drop-offs that we need. 4, 8, 12, 13. And then we need to pick up satellites. So we are going to have a bit of a weirdness in that we want to drop off 6 of these. And we're only going to have 4 like places, as it were. But that's fine. In fact, we're not going to have that, are we? Because... that's one too many, though, isn't it? So we can actually have the satellites be there. Yeah, I think I prefer that. It does make them kind of last in the queue, though, which is a little unfortunate. The only game news I care about are the Friday Fangs. Fair enough, fair enough. I don't know if they're working on 2.1. It's a bit difficult to tell, really, because obviously they've been pumping out the bug fixes. Even when it sort of feels like they're slowing down, you'll suddenly get a release and it'll have 30 bug fixes in it. So I don't know if they're just waiting till it's stable and then thinking about 2.1. I know Arundel did post on their Discord on the SpaceX. Oh, it's just done under Arundel's name, I think, isn't it? But it's basically the SpaceX Discord that been unwell apparently for quite a while. I get the feeling maybe got a bit burnt out with the whole end stretch. So yeah, if this is our satellites one, then our drop-offs would need to be... I'm going to have to look at it again. Where did I... No, I just deleted it, didn't I? Right, what I was going to actually do... Because it'll turn out that we need like 3 blue belts of, you know, rocket fuel or something in order to feed this thing, and none of this is going to work. Okay. Pop you there. Get some bacons on the action. So you would need to be there. No. There. Yeah. Get some of them in. And them. And then... I know you can't do prods in them, can't you? They're not intermediates. Oh well. So maybe we can get away with just doing them in the machine. That would be nice. So that would make 0.75 a second. Oh, let's put another undooded one. That makes 1.5 a second, and that makes 1 a second. Huh. Almost like there's maths going on. What am I actually trying to achieve here? So, if we're doing 1.5... Because I only need 2.4. Oh, it's per minute, isn't it? Ah. So I don't need to speed it. I was thinking it was per second. So I need 2.4 per minute, which is what? Calculator. So I would need 2.4 a minute, which is 0.04 a second, which is just nothing. So I don't need to beacon them at all. And I don't actually need more than that. What would I actually need? So if we were doing one... What's the rate? What was my number? 0.04. So 25 is the biggest one. So all right, aren't we? We don't. So multiply that by 25. So I need 1 a second. Yeah, so I don't need multiple stops or anything like that. Getting carried away. Trying to do a million science or something. Sounds like they are. Not clear what it will contain. Perhaps some new achievements. Yeah. Yeah. Now that you say that, I think I saw Covrex posting about something about achievements. So we could literally have this, like, just be there, couldn't we? You know, it could literally be filling up a train. I'd need to get 6 things to it. So maybe we do stick it in a box. But we don't need them on belts or anything like that. So 6 things is quite a lot to deliver. How are we going to do? I mean, we don't need to deliver them fast. But we need to deliver them. So we're talking, you know, something like that maybe? Whoops. And then you put them in there. I said you put them in there. Shall I maybe paralyze it a bit? And then if that's just like... If that was 1.4... So a row and 4. No, a row and 4. And then a row and 4. And a row and 4 would just be a train's worth? Be over a train's worth, wouldn't it? 4, 8, 12, 16. No, be under a train's worth. We'd need 1.5. No. Oh, it's 3, isn't it? So 4, 1, 2, 3. Yeah, that would be over a train's worth if we did 3 like that. Let's get the wire back on. And what do I need to deliver? I need to deliver all of them. Which, I mean, radars, them, doobie-doobies, these... all 5 of those. Am I using any of the others? Let's see. I don't think I am. I don't think any of these use blue circuits. I have. This is a little deceptive because what I also need to do is the combinators. So we need them, them. I saw a video where someone was actually using the sorter combinator. I was quite impressed actually. I never built power switches and stuff, do I? But then, at one point I thought about this being a base where it just makes everything, but... Okay. Now all of these ones here, so these guys all need wires. So there would be machines to do them. And you need iron plate and green circuits, don't you? Yeah, so those 3 all need wires. This one needs belts and inserters. Not inserters, gear wheels. And that one needs wires as well. Okay. Okay. So it looks like there's a sharing going on. And then you need steel. So blue circuits are used there, but it's pipes that this is need making. And who used blue circuits here? Oh, it was the satellites that used blue circuits, wasn't it? But low density structures aren't. So blue circuits ideally would be one of these, so that we could send them somewhere else as well. But otherwise, we can have the 3 here. So this could be doesn't matter, but that could be what were the ingredients? Maybe this is low density structures. I put that as a pickup, didn't I? Drop off. So it's interesting that's wider. But it's perfectly aligned, that's good. So if that's low density structures, just the one. Oh. Cool. And then these 2, for example, maybe this is what? Solar panels, maybe? And then that's accumulators. Okay. What else do we need? Rocket fuel and radars. Okay. So if we have the buildy bits here, it kind of makes sense maybe for that one to be radars. I am sticking them in a train somewhere. Down at the military base, I think. So that would be radars. And then maybe rocket fuel on this one, perhaps. Where are you? Rocket fuel is an intermediate. Ooh, perfectly one tile away. So if this is the blue circuits, then you need to be down there. So you are going to need to be made here somewhere. They needed iron, didn't they? In order to do the thing. Pipes. But otherwise it's concrete, electric engines and steel, none of which are used elsewhere. So I'm thinking maybe concrete. Electric engines there. And steel. So have you got everything? You need iron plate coming down. Concrete, we've got blue circuits here, we got electric engines, concrete. So the more... Oh, that needs steel as well. Bacons. That's alright. Because we could maybe drop off. Because this needed iron plate, didn't it? And we haven't done iron plate yet. No. But we could do iron plate here. That was that, so it's got all of those. And we're already on steel for you. What are we missing? I didn't copy over these guys. So I've got yes, 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 yes. I just did iron plate. I did, but I don't have any stations, so I'll have to get the builder boys to do that. Speaking of concrete, I already prepped. Oops. There we go. Oops. Speaking of concrete, I already prepped to make a bunch of on the north side of my bus, as I have material processing on the north side and science mall on the south side. Now when I finally need concrete, it was only 2 tiles out of alignment. At least it wasn't 1 tile. Okay. What am I missing then? I'm missing the circuits. Red and green. And what? What happened there? There we go. We've got iron, so in copper as well. I need red circuits, green circuits, and copper. Now red circuits is going to be less used, isn't it? I'm sure. But it's only in them, is it? Those use red circuits as well. Okay. But yeah, if we put the red circuits here, maybe. And then we would have... Might as well put all of the circuits in the middle. What the heckins? And then we've got iron and copper there. Okay, now, one thing we need to be careful of here is that this is signalled properly. I would quite like, if at all possible, to do, like, turn this into the exit point. It's going to do weird things with angles, because it always does weird things with angles. But so that would be not vertical. There. So that's not quite the right distance, is it? So maybe, I don't know. But yeah, in principle, something like that. You connect that over there. Cool. Funny, so they just look, I don't know, it's like one of those optical illusions, isn't it? They don't look even sometimes. So that would be that one dropping off, which is there. I could half belt these, there's no particular benefit, I don't think. I wonder if I could get power poles right in the middle there. Would they be connected? Yes. Okay, I like that. Cool. Then maybe I'll put them around there. Would these connect? Or is that too far? It's too far, isn't it? Yeah, they'd need something in the middle. Okay, that's a little bit annoying. Okay. They would connect there, though, wouldn't they? It's nice to have. Where would that be? That would be like there. There? Okay. My ball in that. I'm hoping it's in the middle. If I do that and H flip it, it's not in the middle. I do that, H flip it, it's in the middle. Cool. Cool. What about here? Yeah, something like that. So I need to go there. Oh, of course, there's no connection there, is there? But I could do maybe. It's on the outside. Okay. Oh, why is that on the outside? Why is that so far up? Didn't I put it right next? No. Yeah, I did. Weirdly, I put it one in. What's happened there? Should be there. Still don't connect. If you were there, you would connect. Okay. You're going to be annoying, are you? There then? Yes, wider this one, isn't it? Oh well. Don't want to put that there. That's too far. I got one. I got one here. That's not in the centre. Yes, it is. Okay. So you would be. Yeah. And then. No. There maybe? And. Put one. Same distance from that, I guess. Right, flip that there. Get you guys over. Soon 3,000 hours into this game, feels like it might start. I might start to learn it. And there, my science died, and I was missing water to 23 out of 60 well boilers, of course. Is that just because your pumps weren't covering, or because? I'm not entirely sure I was a fan of the tweak they did to fluids, because it made it like, I don't know. I mean, it changed the ratios, obviously for water itself, but I don't really know why they did the change. I guess it was to make nuclear more friendly, because obviously before it was like you'd end up with 8 pumps just to feed a 2x2 reactor setup. And now one can basically do a lot. I don't know, I wasn't entirely keen on that change, if I'm honest. So yeah, I've done all that, and then they don't actually connect to the power anyway. Why have you put a wire there? Why have you done that? Well, you should have done that. And why is that not connected? Because it's just too far, I guess. Yeah, it's just too far, isn't it? So how do we... Oh. That's too far as well, isn't it? Dang. Dang and blast. Guess we need because this train, the stop thing doesn't have the station in it. The station is kind of elsewhere. Not station, radar. So maybe if we put sort of one that won't look too horrendous. It does, because you end up with a million wires, but it's fine. All right, no, do. Yeah, higgledy-piggledy mess. Why you am do connecting's weird. And then I don't really need that connection. I wonder how the algorithm where it picks what it connects to works. Because it does seem strange sometimes. Okay, so get rid of that one and that one. I mean, it's consistent, but a little odd at times. So I don't really want that connection, do I? Don't want that one. I'm glad they made these free. It was horrendous before. So we don't want them. Don't want the cross connections. Those. That one. That's a bit better. Oh, there's one rogue one here. Cool. Oh, and I don't want that one either. That. I guess we could put the actual. We could put the pole in. It'll go nuts again, but because you should connect to there. Because I think we can have infinite connections now, can't we? That was one of the Friday facts. Friday facts. I'm going to get rid of that one. And then you should be connected to there. And why have you connected? Guess because you're super close? Do Trying to make it look like a real power grid to a good degree. You got your overhead lines coming in. So why are you saying you got no power then? Oh, because this is all isolated, isn't it? Yeah. What we need is some in here, which would be there. And now I'm going to do a lot of that again. Because I don't want you connected. I want you connected. I don't want you connected. Or you. Or you. And why have you connected to there again? That's very bad of you. Cool. I need the same thing here, don't I? Come. Oh. Oh, the enemies attacked from below, remember? Oh, I see, okay. Pesky little biters. They destroyed one boiler, and I guess that broke the chain. Well, it does make sense. Water expands a lot when it becomes steam. Wonder what the weirdest split belt anyone has ever done is, apart from a weird sushi belts. You figure out why I'm contemplating putting a 235 line on the belt as processing units. Same belt as processing units. Processing it, as in blue circuits. Is that not for... Is that for atomics? As in nukes? Because they're... Are they blue circuits? 235 and processing units, yeah. How many nukes are you going to make? I guess, well, I guess if the biters are coming and chewing on your entire factory, then that does make sense. So... This labs is green circuits, iron plate, and then that's iron plate, and that's iron plate. And where did we put? I didn't put the radars in, did I? That whole exercise was about putting radars in, and then I never put the radars in. Where am I actually going to put these radars? I would quite like to put them in the middle here, but they're just not going to go, are they? How about... Maybe... I never put a power part. Oh, I did. Could be that one. And that one. And that one. Yeah, that'll do. Comics. Said it like June then. I don't know, where did this one disappear? I must have cut and pasted, did I? That was very dumb. What was copied? Oh, well. Okay. Let us hook up some things. So we've got these two. Oh, I've run out of... Oh. Where have the guys gone? 238? Okay. Oh, does it kind of make sense? No, I don't know why you would put blue and 238s on, unless you're playing a mod. I don't think they're both using something. Let's take the yellow belt then. say up there, and there. So 2, 3, 4, 5. So if it's 2, 4, 6, 8. If we want it to go down the centre, give or take, then it needs to be something more like that, doesn't it? Just take that round there. I'm going to get these weird. Maybe I should leave 2, 3, 4 there. Snaky belts! It's the return of my snaky belt thing. What was the one? What did we put where? So, oh, can't see anything. Take the power poles off. That's the rocket fuel. We do also need the blue circuits. Oh, and radar. Okay. So we could have. Like that. And then that. Oops. That. Okay, so I need to connect something there. That's coming from where? We don't, not red circuits. I guess we could do, we need all 3 of these to connect to them. Looping that one back would be a bit annoying. So how about those 2, if the belt under will reach across. Yeah, there we go. And then that one. Not prepared for all this yellow belt use. Okay, let's get you lot back into the loggy system so you can go and pick some belts up for me. Bots will guide us here, so let's get you to there. Where are they? They're here somewhere, aren't they? Yeah. I'm just checking if I do actually have yellow belt. I could have done something where yellow belt is no longer kind of available. No, they're all storage chests, so that's all fine. Cool. So, if you 1, 2, 3, 4 there, and then what's this one? I'm doing the 4 so it looks visually consistent. I may well hit snags where things don't line up though, so we'll see how well that goes. Okay. So we need to get blue circuits across to there, but that's fine because this one we're going to bring around anyway for our silos. So I can simply go. I guess I should put roboports on this as well. Well, I have to because things are going to go in chests. So I need to think where some good roboport positions are as well. Where are they? They're there. So if we ended up with, you know, roboports going up some diagonal there, I could put them. No, I can't because that doesn't fit, does it? Where can I put them? I guess we've got radar there. Thematically, we could have a roboport there. It doesn't fit though. It doesn't fit. Oh, it fits there. Yeah, so I could put one there. And then... Actually, how about we put them on the back of the... Yeah, that works. Put them there. So there's plenty of stuff. Oh, that's one over. That's okay. It's because I'm getting it to line up. Oh. Yeah, there's plenty of pickup with roboboards, so that sort of makes thematic sense. Just that one not quite in the right place. Okay. But yes, we have blue circuits. 1, 2, 3, 4. Coming down there. And then you're going to be a... Where is it? Didn't I make one without the requester in? No, I didn't, did I? Nuts. Okay. If we put you there, and you're gonna make silos. We're gonna need to bring iron down at some point. And we can take the blue circuits past. We don't really want this requester, you see. Two. Cool. But it also needs a whole load of other stuff. So it needs steel. They're fed in, aren't we? So we need 3 things coming over here. Fire belt. Guess we could go a bit faster. We could go red belt maybe for this. Blue circuits ones, because it's feeding 2 things. And then they're quite hungry, aren't they, with a weirdly short crafting time? Only takes 30 seconds despite the thousands of items that go into it. And the size of them. But there you go. Let's maybe take this one over here. Like that. Oh. Otherwise it would kind of make sense. They are not, but I produce them close to each other. I have my yellow science set up close to my military stuff. And I do like uranium ammo. Yeah, I like uranium ammo. I think, I don't know how many I've used. It's tiny. Because this is a Railworld pre-settings, settings. So it's like just infinitesimal amount of uranium ammo I've used. And that's me deliberately using it, you know. Right. Did you guys get restocked? Has that happened? That looks like it's happened. Good. Okay. Please come back. Return A's. In fact, so I just come straight back. Okay. Yes. So this here needs iron plate, so we need to bring that out as well. But otherwise, it is steel, concrete, and electric engines, which are steel, concrete, electric engines, which are here. So if we make this reds as well, we might as well red all of these, like so. Are you back yet? No. Being tardy. Being tardy. Being tardy. lollygaggers. And then, oh, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, so that wouldn't quite work. That's fine. Isn't this? This is steel. We need that for something else anyway. So I think if we go red's for you, blue for you, and then I'm trying to go across here. That's annoying, isn't it? I wonder if a blue would go across. No. 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 Doesn't quite work anyway. Maybe then... That's... there. Quite into this snaky belt thing. Imagine a headcanon reason that they're recreating the original production area thing. And then we can split this. Oh, don't really need to, do we? Just go red one out there. And red one. 1, 2, 3, 4. Wherever that needs to go. Got me back by now, yeah, there we go. Hello, Joe get me tongue again. Joe Schmo and Tim Baker are on YouTube. Welcome, welcome. Hello, and hello to you too. Welcome to the stream. Hey, why do you use yellow and red belt and not just always blue? No particular reason. Tend to go for a general approach of use the belt that's like appropriate, as it were, but it's not a particularly strong reason. For this, I think it looks just a little bit more interesting to have them multiple, but reality is they're probably just going to have items on them anyway, aren't they? But yeah, I think this is just a little bit more visually interesting. This is just a weird, you know, there's no throughput, there's not going to be any throughput issues on this, so I'm just doing some weird mad science design basically. So we need a power bar here apparently. But yeah, I generally go with that. It's like if you look at my, I can't really show it to you because they'll be buried under stuff again, but when I've done like the smelting, here it is. So here for example, well that one's a bad example because it's steel, so here we go. So it starts off with yellow belt because these guys can't possibly produce enough to fill a red belt, and then once it ramps up it goes to red, and then once it gets to a point where they would fill it, it goes to blue basically. So it's just use the appropriate belt type of thing, but the amount of resources it saves me is like, you know, infinitesimal. Okay, so we've built the statellite. I've put the rocket one over, so we've got to build all of these mad things now. Now this one is using iron. Doesn't that use iron as well? That uses iron. But this is steel, copper, green circuits, blue circuits. Red circuits, rather. Okay. So maybe this one's up here somewhere. And then these guys, it does use green circuits, but it's iron, isn't it? I need to bring iron round for this. So that could be interesting. How am I going to get that across there? Because what was this? This is steel, isn't it? Yeah, steel. And then it's... Oh no. You needed steel, didn't you? Yeah. So we can go basically just straight up, maybe? And then it's only though, and this is the only one using red. Oh no, you use red. But you also use them. Don't you? Which one is it? Yeah, decider. So all of them we could have in here maybe. And then that's iron plate. And a green circuit? A green circuit. Okay. So it makes sense if you're sort of here. Because then you're not far from the iron plate. This uses iron plate as well, and a green circuit. So makes sense to have all of them together. And then that was just me remembering about copper. Well, actually, do that. Because these guys need one as well. Okay. Okay. I haven't done any of the signalling, have I? Nuts. Okay. So we might as well do the bringing the iron plate over first. Did I? I didn't put the belt in, did I? Okay. Don't know where that would go. Was this the red? No, that's the green circuit. This is the red circuit one. Okay. So, who else needed? This needs red circuits, doesn't it? Yeah. So we kind of need that. That also needs copper, though, and green circuits, and steel. How very, very inconvenient of you. I mean, these are relatively high volume items, but I've been building them all. I guess I will be building quite a lot of smelting and stuff because that's our shortfall. But I've kind of made almost all the beacons I need. I mean, that's not true, but you get the principle. So this is green circuits, isn't it? Could I just pull directly from that? Maybe that'll work. So we put you there, and you're making beacons. We would need to insert the copper, green circuits and red circuits and steel. Well, we don't need that bit. And we could do some shenanigans with... How many do you need? It's only 0.83. It's not many at all. Well, I could feed like 3 of them, couldn't I? But if we do that... So I have two making beacon, two making bacons. And then... Well, we've got the red circuits coming this way. So I could do something a lot like this, something a little bit weird. And then they could kind of hop over, because we need them to go over to that one. We can use that there. This is the steel coming up, isn't it? I need to get copper to that as well. Because that was going to be red circuits. So if we had that being like that, a bit more out the way. So I could try and maybe have the copper going in that way. Because if we're going to make a mess, let's make a mess. That was the red circuits. So, and then the green circuits is here. This needs to go up. Everything uses green circuits all the time. And then how many steels? So steels is less. So maybe we have... It's unfortunate with the power pole position, isn't it? Because that's not going to reach across. I could just move it all up one. Yeah, let's move it all up one. Go on. Do that. And that can go just there. This guy can leap over both of them. Like some sort of Superman. Put that there. That, and then we get inputs on there, there, and power poles there and there. No, if I put you there, it's a little more like it's like a trapezoid. Okay. 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 So now delivering green circuits here, which we need for all of that stuff. We still need iron plate up here, don't we? For all of them. Cool. I don't suppose you guys have got any stuff over here? So that's the only one that needs red circuits. But it needs these guys. Okay. So if, that's green circuits, isn't it? Just wondering if I can literally put it... Could, but not really. Okay. That was there. So they're going to feed into the middle. And then maybe we put power pole there. Are they both? They both need green. That one needs wire as well, doesn't it? Okay. So, put wire there. Nice. Feed them all off of the one wire machine. But not a disaster if we don't. I think if I move all of that down one. Boop. Yeah, so if we take that. That can get a bit messy, but that is going to be those guys. And then, yeah, it doesn't really work, does it? We go like that. I take that out. Leave one of them. And then it's them instead. Searcher in there. Oops. Oh. So that'll get it green circuits. No, red circuits. And that's all it needs. But these need wires and all that sort of stuff. But this is green circuits coming this way. And that needs green circuits. And so does that. Okay. Maybe I built these sort of on the end or something. Squish it all in for no reason. The copper's going to need to be made a mess of that. What's this? Oh, iron plate. Okay. So this is the one that needs iron plate, isn't it? Just wondering maybe if I tweak this. Iron plate could go down there instead. Ow. There appears to be a lake in the way. You put that there. Because we want that to go kind of across there, really. Kind of, sort of ish. No. Have you got landfill? You must have landfill, guys. It's what you're for. It's been weird not having a massive need for landfill. Because the map settings on this seem to like bias towards having like plenty of stuff, basically. Plenty of land. Okay, so that's iron plate. Some of. You should probably actually bump that up. And then you don't need green circuits, but you do, don't you? Yeah. So you need green circuits. These are going to be direct inserts. And then I guess it doesn't really matter how these are laid out, are they? But let's go. What was this? In fact, let's do it like that, because then there's one going in each direction. This is arithmetic combinators. Now this is them. So it needs green circuits, but then we can loop the green circuits like back round. And then like have these using the green circuits as well. I like it. It's mad. So I guess I could do like a staggered thing like that maybe for them. I'll just move that up slightly for now. So I can use that again. Set it to lab. Where the heck do labs live? There they are. And then you're going to be display panels, which, as I keep saying, is my biggest disappointment about Space Age. I got really excited about them. And then they're just a bit sort of rubbish. Okay, but what we can do then, we take that, flip it around, move you down one. How about that? I mean, that needs 2.5 a second in theory, and that produces 5, so it only needs to run at half the rate. And that would need 2.5, so 1.25 cogs. And then 6.7 point... So 7.75 cogs, ideally. But who cares, really? I wonder if we could get even close with some beacons or something. Or a beacon. As I say, I don't think I really care. 6.64. Maybe we put in a 8.28. That's fine then. Okay. I only sent a red belt. 12.75, 6.25, so that would be 8 point something. I guess in theory you need some as well, don't you? So if we do say that... no, let's do... Oh no, I can't. Move that back. Put that there. Yellow belt. That one. So it's not got any power. There. Not connected. Not connected. Okay. And then we give you... Oh, I haven't actually got any red belt. Okay, fine. Got any stack inserters either? Oh, it's too far away. Okay. Let's move this to here then. I'm actually going to put that there. For reasons. Can I move that one over? I can. Get out of the way, guys. So I need to get copper to that one. That one needs them, and so does that. So does this one. But we need to get copper here. There's another thing that needs copper. I can't remember what it is. I don't remember what it is. You don't need green circuits, but you do. What needs copper? This needs copper. Okay. Okay. If what? If I move that to say, if it was that way around. And then this was there. Could maybe have it across there. So we go what? Well, let's follow the general pattern. So, like so, up, go across. Yeah, because that then it's like that. Oops. So, haven't got any, have I? Oh, and that's unpowered. That's annoying. Let's move it one over then. Like that. We haven't put any inserters there. And... oh, I was going to put it there anyway, wasn't I? Like that. Okay. Power poles connected. Okay. Right. Didn't finish this, did I? No. So we need to put that in there and have that connect. Have you guys got stack inserters? Or bulk inserters, I should say. Okay. We want more than 20 labs, though. I'm not sure we don't need hundreds of labs. I haven't really done the maths, but when I did my 5,400... let's pretend I did a 5,400. I think I had like 200 labs, so maybe if we set that to 100. It was higher than that, it was like 250. Then they stack to 10 though, don't they? Is that right? Stack size 10. So 100 would be a row in a chest. Yeah, that's fine, I guess. I mean, it's not going to run at the 2,400 until I put untold amounts of iron smelting and copper smelting and all sorts in anyway. So, let's look at connecting. Well, I need to do signals, don't I? Otherwise the whole thing's going to end up with trains crashing into each other. I wasn't massively happy with that. Can we do? Oops. What sort of... ah, because we could maybe do that. That's a bit nicer, isn't it? Yeah. Like that. So. So if this is my standard stacker, where does it actually end? It's one tile before that, so it ends there. Okay. So reduce that. Oops. Make that. Can we connect them nicely? We can. I like it, I like it. So that's looks like the max length there. But it didn't connect. So how about we put one... I've got like a million curve connecting diagonal type blueprints, but not done that in this game at all. Yeah, so let's leave it disconnected. I guess fundamentally, is a stacker even going to work? I'd have to make this all entirely exclusive. I don't want that. I mean, all of them are set to one thing anyway. But yeah, we need to do signaling. So we want 1, 2, 3. That needs to be there. Do I just go very simple? And we have... so that'll be there, I guess. So you're indeterminate, are you? So what would it be? It'd be the end of it. There. Like that each time, wouldn't it? That's basically saying don't come out onto the rail until there's nothing basically in his, or you know, when this block is free. I say it's like it's going to be very low volume throughput, I guess. I wonder if we can get. Because there's one there. If we do it, say there, is that basically the same? Is it the straight bit? No, straight bit is the single thing, isn't it? So it needs to be on the straight bit. It needs to be there. Which end of the straight bit is it? It's the bottom end. Which is what that is? No. Because the curve, yeah, that's the same. Okay. So why didn't I just copy and paste it? There we go. How are we doing? 6:50. Okay. I hadn't realised that was cracking on. Okay. Because this is the bit that's going to get very messy. Because trains will try and, well, you know, potentially try and go up round that way, and I don't want them doing that. So the signals always need to be on the right hand side of the track, don't they? Here. Why does that feel like that's in the wrong place? I think the way they've done... So there isn't a... this whole thing should be one down. But it wouldn't fit because there's not enough curve there either. So actually the whole island should be... You know, this should be 2 further down. Oh well. Okay, anyway. Point is that if we put rail signals on this side of the belt of the rail each time, so this rail is redundant, isn't it? Because I don't want them doing anything other than coming down here. They've got to go straight down, that, you know, to there type of thing, and straight down to there, and straight down to there. But at no point would any rail, I want any train. No, I do want them doing that bit. No, I don't, because I want them always coming down. Yeah. Yeah, I always want them coming down. I don't want any of them going up. Don't like it up them. Okay. So then if we signal there. Oops. There. And there. There. And so it doesn't look like we're going to make a single space science or even a rocket launch or anything. I completely failed at that then, haven't I? But nowhere near. These don't want to be in the middle, do they? Why have I done that? They used to be there. That's fine because it's going all the way down. But yeah, they want to be on the... Might as well put them opposite the... whatchamacallem. Okay. And then each one wants one of these. That, yeah. That. Now, would it be the same going that way? Yes, because we want them coming down. Who put this madness together? And then missed that one. Cool. Cool. Let's send you around to build the actual signal. Let's show the signals. So that's a block there, that's a block there. All of that's a block. All of that is... I haven't done this one. I've missed one out. This one here. Okay. There. And then got signals there. That's a block. So we do want something probably chain signal wise there. Rail signal there. 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 And then, oops, don't really matter where, but let's put it opposite the power pole. That in line, no. There. I guess I do actually want one kind of here maybe. And then to allow more trains to queue, we'll put in some... Well, they're not going to queue, but I mean more to avoid them crashing into each other. Do that. Do. Okay. Need to signal this. What are we doing here? Okay, I mean, I guess that's actually nonsense, isn't it? Because I don't want them going around in loops. So we want the loop to be that one, to be that one, to be that one. Don't want anyone going back up there. You know, if you're exiting, you're going to have to go all the way around, but should be sufficiently low volume that is fine. But I think if I go, well, maybe if we put sort of signals here and here, and then we have more trains in that bit. Yeah, that should be okay. Then we'll just put them opposite that. Probably offset them with that one. There. Just stick them in there. So I think this stacker's redundant. So we've just connected it. Train should start pouring in now. Here comes trains. Here comes trains. Oh. Trains are doing train things. We have low density structures. No one's crashed into... Oh, fuel. I need to add in to my train blueprint so that they have fuel in them. Oh, we had avoidance of crash. That's good. Oh, look at me Spidertrons doing strange standing things. Let's get you stood there. Oh, we've got more trains. There are a whole load of green circuits in particular. And I was kind of filling in the... Because I built all of the stations and stuff. And then I was like, how many do I actually need? Oh, that's the same one. And I was a long way off. It was basically, I mean, I'm trying to have one station for every drop-off. So here, for example, I have 54 copper drop-offs. And I only have 24 copper trains. So, yeah. I mean, they're not all going to be flying around all of the time. You know, there's a lot of stations where they'll just sit there waiting to empty. And we probably need more depoting, basically. I need probably a... have you got fuel in you and stuff? You have? What are you even doing? Oh, your batteries, are you? Okay. I see another one has popped up. Yeah, because they set off, basically, as soon as the front one is fueled. And so the back one sometimes doesn't get fueled. Because obviously the back one is further away from where the actual trains are being built. So when the bots build them, they build the top one and then the bottom one. I end up with the bottom one doesn't have any fuel in it. And so they drive to where they're going. So here, for example, this front one has fuel in it and the back one doesn't. And so when they try and leave, they don't have any fuel in. And of course, when you do the auto blueprinting now of, well, you know, building from blueprints of trains, they're all set to auto. And that's for the next step. I need that for the next step. When I do actual super generic trains. Are we still waiting on fuel, or is that a new problem? I think that's one before, yeah. You're sat there because why? Because concrete pickup is full, apparently, which makes sense because look at that pathetic volume. But yeah, it's things like that. And you know, I haven't done the upgrades on these yet. So this is the madness of these signals on this thing. But you can see what it does. Basically, it tries to ensure that if a train's coming on here, you know, maybe it reserves the block. But if it ends up not being able to get through, then it doesn't block other trains from going either way. That's what I've been going for. But you end up with this insane number of signals. Is that the same one? Yeah. No blue... Oh, I didn't put an inserter on there, look. So what we could do, while we're waiting to see if anything crashes into anything else, is maybe go and properly explore this island. We could put the rail in that connects it over, maybe? I'll probably use this space for something as well. In fact, probably a good place for rocket fuel, wouldn't it? I suppose I have got oil there. Okay. Let's take that. I mean, there's stone, but I don't think I'll use the stone. I did one too many again. Okay, so if that was then a 90-degree bend, and then go straight down across here. Where is it? There it is. Like that. So yeah, if we nip down here and see what's going on with this island. I mean, it's probably going to be full of biters, I would guess. So let's see if we can get our Battletrons on the go as well. Across there. Over there. I mean, I haven't had any warnings for trains crashing into each other, so... should call that a success. A bunch of satellites on the go. We don't have a train for satellites, do we? We don't have a train for satellites. I don't think. Let's have a look. No. Put a train in for satellites. So in theory, everything else. I mean, we might actually be able to get some launches on the go. We won't make any space, any science, because I have to build that. But if all we're dropping off for rockets is blue circuits, you know, low density structures and rocket fuel, I've got production of all those, even though it's not at the right sort of volume. What am I looking at? I'm looking at satellites. Okay. Train is still out of fuel. Another one. Huh. That's interesting. I don't remember adding. That suggests maybe there's also a flaw in the maths on my thing. Why have you not triggered on this? Because any fuel less than 2. Maybe I should make it. No, it should that should be any. So any of them getting below 2. So maybe I did add one. It's just when it got down, you know, less than 2, it should have gone back to the depot. And I don't remember adding stone trains. This is the problem here. So this is not my new fancy junction. And this is what happens. They all get queued up because the whole thing's like single entry. And that's hopefully why they're all blasting through here, no problems. We'll have to see maybe about extending that generally. Look at all them signals. Okay, so I made satellites. Still getting an out of field one, but it's not the satellite one. Accumulator trains must have come. Cool. Does that mean more? Nice. Nice, nice, nice. Maybe I should bump them up to whatchamacallits, bulk inserters, but yeah. Okay, where did the Buildertrons go? Because this all seems to be okay. Let's get in the middle somewhere there. Cool. Ah, you've not made... Ah, you've not got reds... Ah, okay. So they need red circuits. Like so. Almost the whole point of putting them there. That one's chugging through. It's trying to make... Should probably put some modules in this. I guess you're... I know you need green circuits. Look. What about you? That one's done. Already got 100 lamps? Crikey. Any of them? What else are we making? We're making... Oh. We're not making rocket solos. We should be making rocket solos. We can't put prods in them or anything now, can we? I puzzle where the I guess this won't be flagging. This won't be saying send me anything because it's not actually got a train's worth. Oh, and there's no way of loading that train. Okay. How many have you got? 40. That's got to be a train. There's a train. Ah, here you go. So this is the problem. End up unfueled but trying to set off. There you go. Okay. And I call that a rip-roaring success. Let's go see what's on that island. Let's go see what's on that island. Have you got rail in you? You have loads of. Okay. I guess while we're waiting, I should promo. So next Friday, the next video in my series of law speculation videos will go live for everyone. It's been live for members for more than 4 weeks, I think now. 5 weeks, I think. Yeah, it goes live for everyone. It is asking the question, how do you shatter a planet? Because in Factorio Space Age, we have a shattered planet. Not in the tired sense. But yeah, so it's focused on that as a... meaning the mechanism of how you do it. There's a follow-up video coming along talking about why you would shatter a planet. What train is out of fuel now? A concrete one. Something odd is going on here. Something odd is going on there. Because it's got interrupt of interrupt. It should be sticking in this thing. There could be very long... They've been sat there for ages because there wouldn't have been any concrete drop off really. Could be that. But yeah. Feels like maybe I've got my numbers wrong. But yes, the law video is going live next Friday. It's kind of my replacement for my Factorio Friday Facts speculation videos, that series. I got a whole load of them planned. And a lot of them written. Here you go, you see. They all get stuck. So yeah, I need to go around doing... I think I'd just replace all of them with my upgraded one. I've not seen any traffic... Well, I'm not sure about this... doing the same with this crossroads. I think I might... If I put a pen in and, you know, connect it somewhere else, then I can turn it to T junctions. But yeah, it took me so long to do the optimized, you know, T-junction version that doing it for a crossroads I think might send me insane. The third video in the series, that law speculation video series, is literally went live yesterday for members. That one's not going to come out until, what would that be? August, I guess. June, July. No, July. That would be the July one. That one is about Folgora. Which I think, apart from the Shattered Planet, is one of the most intriguing things in the expansion. So I've got several videos planned on that as well. A huge amount of fun to make these lore ones. I don't know if anyone's particularly interested other than me. I mean, who cares what the lore is in Factorio, really? But an enormous amount of fun to make. I could probably churn them out as well if I just did them like I did the Friday Facts videos. Just literally talk at the camera, but I think that's a bit too dry, basically, a bit too dull. So we need these Buildertrons to get over here. As I said before, I'm working on a whole load of videos, but I like to script them and I like to edit them and make them a bit more, you know, not just hit record and, you know, start talking. Like, I mean, clearly that's a better way of doing it because you get, you know, you can produce more and, you know, people don't, I think, care as such about more complex editing. Not that I do complex editing, but editing at all. I guess it's the content really, but I'm an old fart, so I used to got more sort of affinity to television style, you know, stuff. Okay. Yeah, look at them all queuing up. How are we doing? So, we are waiting. I can already see some biters. Hello, chaps. You appear to be on my island. Not a fan of that. I wonder if I've got landfill. No, 5 bits of landfill. So we're going to want to go kind of across here, really, aren't we? If we get down to sort of there, we'll probably step across. We'll have to send the boys in. Hello, Ed Rat. Welcome, welcome. Hope you're doing well. Hello to you too. Are you here yet? Oh, they stood there. Okay. So, build that in for me. In fact, I don't really need you to build it in, do I? Let's just get you over here. I'm sure you will as you go, but... Yeah. But yeah, we need this landfill filling in. How long have you been playing this game? Oh dear. If you mean today, then 3 hours. Well, we're coming up for 3 hours, but I have 4,500 hours, I think it is, in the game. Something like that. So yeah, quite a while. Quite a while. It's my favourite game of all time, so that. But I've also done quite a lot of... Oh, no, leave them alone, leave them alone. Okay, so let's get those Battletrons in and sort these worms out. We've got another train without fuel. Is that all of them? That's all of them done. I bet you can't reach, can you? No, just ever so slightly too far. Okay, let's get a bit of the old landfill in then. Go across to there, I guess. Now, have they got enough landfill? So, because it's not that sort of world, generally not filled them up with landfill. There we go. We'll get across there now. So, let's go here. We'll get the Battletrons across there. We'll have a look at what's going on with this train. Stone brick one again. Interesting. Maybe any doesn't work in quite the same way I think it means. Seem pretty good at it. well, heavily practiced, I would guess, rather than good as such. When I just started playing this and then getting frustrated that none of my builds seem to work smoothly. Do you have any advice? So, yes and no. The main one I would say... Let's get the... In fact, can I do you remotely? I love this island. Look at this island. The map gen in this... I say this so many times. The map gen now is just amazing. I love it. So there's no biters on this at all. Just some worms there. So the thing I would say is that... how to phrase it? You kind of... Ratios are worth learning, but not necessarily learning. Kind of understanding what to do with ratios is the thing. So well, let's am I out? Yeah, there we go. So for example, one of the best examples is green circuits. So green circuits require iron plate and copper cable. Now copper cable is obviously a thing where you turn copper plate into copper cable. So if you look at this machine, it has well, the recipe itself is a very easy way of saying it, but basically 1 iron plate and then 3 copper cable. Okay, and it needs that every half a second. But the machine that makes copper cables only makes 2 copper cables every half a second. So in other words, you need 1.5 machines to make the number of copper cables you need. So you need 3, it makes 2, so you need another 1, but you only need half of the cables it makes. So in other words, you need 3 copper cables for every 2 green circuits. And one of the common designs you'll see is some sort of arrangement. People do it in different ways, like this, because if you're getting 2 out of there, and you need 1 out of there for that machine, and 1 out of there for that machine, rather 1 out of there for that machine, and then 2 out of there. If you simply directly insert, then you've got a perfect ratio match. So all you need to do now is feed it with copper cable and feed these with iron plate, and then you need output as well. Like so. So if there was iron plate coming down there, copper plate coming down there, then you would get green circuits out of there. And learning some of these ratios, or at least learning what they mean and how to work with them, is what you need for kind of nice, builds that work. So if you, for example, look at the Automation Science Pack, now this recipe takes one copper plate and one iron gear wheel and takes 5 seconds to craft. Well, one machine making gear wheels, there they go, iron gear wheels, it can produce a gear wheel every half a second. Okay, so if that machine only requires one once every 5 seconds, then that means this in 5 seconds this will produce 10 gear wheels. So you can support 10. I laid them out a bit weird, but you can support 10 of those with one of these. So it's that sort of thing that you need to. I say you don't need to learn all the recipes, especially not now, because when you hover over them, they have like ratio things. So you can see that that's making 2.5 in a second, and that's requiring 0.25 in a second. Well, 0.25 times 10 is 2.5. So it's the same bit of logic. But basically, that's what you need to be familiar with working out. Now, I say I wouldn't try and remember them all in your head. Some of them you will just remember because you make the machines so often. But that type of thing is how you get good designs. One of the things I do very early on is I have I'm trying to make a video on this, but I keep restarting it. One of the things I do is I use the same design principles. So one of mine is, as a general thing, and particularly, I'm a big fan of buses, but with a bus, for example, you've got all of your belts going along here, with everything on, and then you take a feed off, you take a branch off for your stuff. Now, whether or not those items are coming back onto the bus, or maybe you're sending them to a different machine. But what I then do is I always do out on in the opposite direction. So rather than because one of the things that gets people trapped or confused is not leaving enough space or crossing lanes over. So if you always have an arrangement like that, obviously that's in the wrong place, like that. So when you're going, you're taking your stuff off the bus, for example, or maybe it's just in a copper lane and you want copper to go somewhere else. If you put an arrangement, as the general principle, like that, where it's going up and you're taking that, somewhere here, then you'll find later on, you want to split it and you want something going that way and something going that way, and you're then crossing lanes over and it gets very messy. So if you always take it out in the opposite direction to where it came in, then you can either stick it onto your bus more, as it were, you can just add it to your bus, or you can divert it like that to another set of machines, maybe split it here as if it was like a minibus, and then split there or something like that. So that type of thing is another sort of approach that I use in order to... Because one of the things with this is once you've learnt kind of some patterns of doing things, you can just repeat them over and over again, irrespective of what the ingredients actually are. You can use the same basic ideas. So another thing I do early on as well is I lay things out like this. So very early game. Now, it won't let me build this because I've not got any of these grey machines, but if I was, for example, wanting to build, say, what would be a good one? Something that doesn't need something else. Maybe we do level 1 speed modules and level 1 prod modules. This is parameterization, by the way, this setting things automatically. And I use this design. So what you can do early on is have things, you can have all your materials going up the sides here. Just any old order, piggledy-piggledy, what have you. And then you say, right, I want to build these two. So you lay them out in this way, yeah, and then you just find where you've got, say you've got green circuits there and like red circuits there, then you just grab them. And if you want to do, say, maybe your green circuits are on the outside, yeah, you just put the underground there. And if you can half belt these, so you can have one that's like half iron plate, half pipes, which is what I've got here. This is what this was. This was my like starting base, and these are all the belts looping back around on themselves, and they're doing this basically. So these guys, we've just rebuilt these elsewhere, but you see I'm taking copper for the cables, I'm taking green circuits, I'm taking, oh, and that's it, because that's all we need. But so these blue circuits, we're taking red circuits, we're taking green circuits, and we're outputting blue circuits, you see. So that basic idea of doing machine, power pole, machine, power pole, machine, power pole, and putting them there is another thing, you know, that's another one of my design principles that I use. So yeah, hopefully that's of a help. Can you just quickly explain main bus? It seems complicated. So, a main bus essentially is you put everything. Now, you wouldn't want to put higher level stuff, but basic resources and intermediate resources. So basically, you can make, these are what I would call basic resources. So iron plates, copper plates. You basically take a raw material and process it in a single or maybe in multiple steps. So steel, you take iron ore, turn it to iron plate, turn that into steel plate. So it's a couple of steps. And you put those all onto a whole load of parallel belts. Yeah, so a typical arrangement is something like that. And you just have rows and rows and rows of belts. And you basically say this all has iron. So maybe you have 4 iron plate here, 4 copper plate, 4 green circuits, something like that. And whenever you need something, and you just extend that. So that just then extends forever, basically. At some point you hit water or a set of biters or something. And then you need to landfill or you turn a corner or what have you. But the basic idea is that this simplifies the production process, because what you can do is you can concentrate all. Now, my base is a train-based one, but you can concentrate all of your production into a single area. So you might have these are called smelting stacks, basically. So it's just a stack of machines that will fill a belt. Yeah, and you just take that and then you just repeat it as many times as you need, and you get as many rows of iron plates out as you want. Yeah, so you just have loads of iron plates, and then you have loads of copper plates, and you take some of those and you turn them into green circuits and have loads of green circuits. And what you then do is you basically just say, right, I want to make, I don't know what you want to make, but I want to make red belts or something. So red belts, I need to get iron gear wheels and transport belts. Now you might have put iron gear wheels on your belt, so you literally just take split. I don't typically, and so I would need to take iron plates out and turn some of them into gear wheels or cogs or whatever the official term is, and that's yellow belts. It requires yellow belts, so I'd also need to make yellow belts. So make them the normal belts, and they require gears. Obviously, put myself in a position here where I can't build them, so we would need another one with gears, but they also need iron plate themselves. So what you do is you split off what you need. Yeah, so you say, right, I'm going to make all of this stuff requires iron plate. That's all it needs. But it needs a lot of iron plate, and I need a lot of belts. So I'm going to take 3 splits off, for example, and take those away. Yeah, and we will make belts out of those iron plates. Now somewhere else, I might be making, I don't know, power poles. And so I've got steel on my bus. I need to make iron sticks, but that's iron plate, so I need to take iron plate. I need to make copper cables, so I take copper plate. And then I have a machine that makes them. I have a machine that makes sticks. and I have a machine that makes copper cables, and so I need to feed up steel, iron plate, and copper, and so I can just split them off from the thing. It's a it makes everything generic. It means, and it also separates the production problems, basically. So you've got one thing of, I need to fill my belts, and you can resolve that by just making smelting stacks or, circuit production areas, and just you feed them in at one end, and that's it. That's all you need to do in order to fill your bus. At the other end, where you're making more complicated things, it simplifies that in that you know which ones you've got on your belts, on your bus, so you just take those away. Basically, you just pull them off of your bus, and you don't have to worry then about producing them as part of making them. So that's kind of the principle that the bus works on, essentially. It's now 7 o'clock. So we won't actually get to make any space signs. What I could do is I could set up the trains here. So if we go maybe that bit there, and then that bit there maybe, and then where's my straight? There's my straight. Put that there. So what am I actually going to have to do? I guess, because it's not, I assumed this island was bigger, I'll be honest. Because that is not going to line up with any of our things, is it? That's a bit annoying, if I'm totally honest. I love the shape of it. I love that it's made this island. I wish it was bigger. Okay. We might have to do something a little bit more improvisational. What I could do is we could go mad, and we could maybe have the rail there. And then the actual... Because we don't anymore. Because space science doesn't get delivered to our rockets anymore. Our rocket silos, it goes to the landing pad. So all we need to do here is drop off the bits and pieces needed, and we can have the actual rockets be here. We could also do this quite easily as a separate robo network. So this island could have its own robo network. That'd be pretty cool, wouldn't it? I really like that idea, actually. Okay, let's put that in then. Oops. Yes. And that one as well. So if we do that, I guess we don't really need to stack it either. It's out in the middle of nowhere. Because it'd be kind of cool if there's no actual land bridge, especially now that we can delete landfill. So if this was in no way physically connected to these, that'd be kind of cool. Okay. So is the main bus the easiest for starters, or you recommend something else? Thanks for taking time to explain that. I appreciate it, and I subscribe. No worries. I enjoy talking about it. It is easy. I would say it's not something I would build to start off with. What I would build to start off with is some variant of... If you're going back, if you subscribe, you can go back to the beginning of this series, and you can see me building this thing. This monstrosity. This is what I would recommend you do when when you're just starting up, basically, and learning and stuff like that. In a sense, it is a bus, because I'm making all the things, sticking them on some belts, and then worrying about making other things elsewhere. So in a way, it is a bus, basically. But a bus usually is more like a scale thing, and that's where I would say so. What I would recommend, the way I generally try and play, is to do a bot rush. So basically go through all of the sciences to get to bots. Because once you've got bots, it just makes the whole game so much simpler, basically. Because say you need more furnace is, you can just copy and paste them. So long as there's roboports, the bots will take care of it. You don't need to physically go there and build all of the stuff. And that's exactly my complaint about the game I'm going to be playing tomorrow, Satisfactory. Well, you got to go over and you got to do everything yourself. But yeah, so I would recommend a bot rush. To get to bots, you will have to go through Blue Science. Blue Science is a bit of a bottleneck for people. It's one of those things, it's almost like just stick with it, and try and work your way through it. But what happens with Blue Science is you get a double whammy of production has to scale up. You suddenly need huge amounts of steel, which is horrible to produce in particular, but also you need to work out chemical science. You need to work out oils, basically, which is a completely different production process because you need sulfur for that, and red circuits, which need plastic. So you get into a double whammy of suddenly you need to learn, oil and oil processing, as well as having to massively produce, a difficult to produce material in steel. For my first build, I used level 2 assemblers for wire and level 1 for the circuits. Yeah, I mean there are all sorts of clever tricks like that. So that comment's over on Twitch. What Soldens is talking about is basically the machines have different production speeds. So an assembly machine 1 has a production speed of basically of half compared to the engineer, and then assembly machine 2 has a production speed of 0.75, so it's half as fast again. So it's going to make, if you do 1-to-1 of those machines, it's going to make the circuits at the right speed for a single machine. So basically by mismatching them, you basically achieve the ratios. And that's what I mean about to understand the ratios is kind of half of the problem, but not, you don't have to memorize them, you just have to know what to do with them, basically. Right, so let's get the builders down here. We'll pick this up next week. I will leave this island because I think it'll be a fun build to do on stream. They've obviously run out of landfill, yeah, okay. And yeah, the plan then is we'll have the actual rockets on this island. I'll have to work out how I'm going to get power to them. I guess just do a power cable across, maybe? Like that, something like that, maybe? I'll disconnect this Roboport network once it's done, and we'll have its own separate network here using this Roboport, which might be interesting because I'm not sure it will match up. Because what we want to do is we want to make rockets. We've got the silos being made, and so all we need to deliver are processing units, low density structures, and rocket fuel. Because, oh, and satellites as well. We need to do satellites, don't we? So if I put a little thing here, then we need processing units, rocket fuel, low density structures, and satellites, which is 4 things, and we have 4 stations at our place here. So that should work quite well, I think. Cool. And we only need, we need 2.5 of them, I think. So 3 effectively to get us all of the white science we need. Cool. Excellent. So, yeah, schedule time. Should I watch tutorials or try and figure out stuff out myself? Figure it out yourself. Sorry for taking time. It's no worries. I'm quite enjoying explaining stuff. That's quite one of the things I like to do with the game. And so I wouldn't classify myself as any kind of expert, but as I say, I have a lot of hours, so there's a lot of practice in there, really. I do want to do a lot more tutorials and stuff because they are useful. So I wouldn't watch them to start with. Your first playthrough, the thing is really, you'll only play the game once, first time once, basically, as someone said on one of the streams. And so part of the game is, designing things, basically. So designing a green circuit build, designing a red circuit build, designing a blue circuit build. And you'll only do that for the first time once. Now, obviously, you'll only do it for the second time only once. But the point of that is really that that process is, for me, a big part of the enjoyment of the game. That's one of the things I love about it, is designing. It's why, even though I've played this thousands of times, I still, a lot of the time, build new designs each time, because I just enjoy that process. So you may not enjoy that process. That may not be for you. That may be not what you enjoy about the game. So if you don't, if you struggle with it, or you don't enjoy that part of it. So I'm just trying to move myself over because I've got the cropping wrong again. There we go. Then that's the point. I would go and get other people's blueprints and watch tutorials and stuff like that. And once you've played it through your first time, once you've launched a rocket, knock yourself out, watch tutorials. Or if you get really stuck on one little bit and you're like, how do I do this? Then a tutorial or a video, what have you, that explains that might be the way to get around it. I really wouldn't, some people are a bit purist on it, unlike when you're on the Reddit, where they're like, absolutely never do that. But if you get stuck or whatever, then, do whatever works, really, or come ask a streamer. Most of them will sort of help you out. So, I would give it a go first yourself. But if you do get stuck, or say you don't enjoy that aspect of the game, or what have you, then yeah, don't worry about using tutorials or looking things up, etc. But yeah, as I say, give it a go first yourself. Cool. Yes. So next time, next week we will come back with more Factorio. Next Saturday, same time. Is that right? Yes, next week will be okay. The week after, I will be away. So in the UK next weekend, it's Father's Day, but I'm going to see my dad the week after, and I'm taking him to the cinema to watch the F1 film. So I will be away, not next weekend, the weekend after. Yeah, but next week we will do the build for the space science, the rockets, etc. Again, in the meantime, between streams, if I'm again possessed with the Factorio playing bug, I will be scaling up the intermediate. So I will try and not do anything like interesting, basically, between streams. I am kind of aware that some of that green circuit build, red circuit build is probably stuff I should have done on stream, but I was just having too much fun. So yes, that's next week for Factorio. We will then, assuming that base works, because we'll also do the labs, and I've scaled up enough, we will then look at the more process of genericizing the trains and how a generic train system would work, where any train can pick up anything and deliver anything, and how I control that is kind of the main things. So we'll be basically back to parameterizing properly again. Tomorrow, though, we will be returning with Satisfactory. I did do a bit on that, as I say, so we're kind of ready to build the Desert Factory, ready to make those heavy modular frames. I can't remember if there was something else we could build out in the factory. We should be on the cusp of doing uranium, though. I didn't make the iodine-infused gas masks and all that, so maybe we could look at doing that. But I'm also looking very seriously at doing the Sky Factory, so basically taking all my base up into the sky, and then I can do nice straight trains that don't take days and really annoy me. So those are the things we'll probably be looking at tomorrow in Satisfactory. If you're new here and you are watching on either Twitch or YouTube and you prefer the other platform, then you have the option basically. So you can watch on YouTube or Twitch, because I use Restream to stream to both at the same time. However, YouTube is the only one with the VODs. So all of the VODs on this series, the Satisfactory series, my previous series, like my first Space Age playthrough, what else? No Spoon Run, all sorts of stuff with Factorio, as well as a previous Satisfactory series, Tectonic, a playthrough, several Dice-Sphere programs. So lots of building and management games. That's my sort of preferred genre. So there's loads of archive VODs on there, as well as my whole series where I read through the Factorio facts for the Space Age. they were great fun to do. I love doing them, but they've kind of stopped those. So I've replaced those with a whole series where I'm speculating about the lore of Factorio, which a bit of a niche topic, but something I massively enjoy talking about. And the next video in that series, video 2, is going live for everybody on Friday. It's live for members already. So members get early access to my videos. And the third one has already gone live for members as well. The one coming up, the one I've already done is about what I think the engineer is. The second one is about how you shatter a planet. And the third one is about the Fulgurans. So yeah, if that's anything you want to enjoy, then you can check it out there. If you want to follow me on socials, Blue Sky's the one to do. That's the one I'm vaguely active on. There's also my Twitter there. I don't use Twitter anymore. And then Discord is available, but it's not really an active community. I don't particularly use Discord at all. So that's all of my self-promo stuff. Thanks a lot, bro. See you next Saturday. Going to be watching. Yeah, thank you very much, and hope you enjoy the series. Anything else? No, I think that's it. Yes. So next week, all normal. Week after that, I will be taking a week off. So if you have enjoyed it, I hope you've enjoyed it. If you have been watching, I hope you've enjoyed it, and you might consider coming back for another one. I've been Trismegistus. This has been Factorio. Thanks for watching. Cheers.